Hey guys, thank you again for joining my channel. So for today, I would love to talk about an interesting topic, and it's more of a debate. So I was trying to figure out in these last days, in terms of what type of tax I think is most fair and advantageous to my position. So I want to kick off this video with a question, and that's which type of income tax you guys think it's more efficient? Is it flat or progressive? So, in terms of, depending on the country you live in, you might have a progressive tax that's similar to UK or the US, where you have these progressive tax bands, and based on your income, for every band you get taxed at different level. On my previous video I discussed about how the progressive tax works in the UK. So you're split into four areas with 0% tax, 20% tax, 40 and 45% tax. And it felt a bit unfair at some point. So let's kick off this discussion on the progressive tax first and then the flat tax. Well, at the end, you guys should make up your mind which one you think is most advantageous to you. And also, if you're planning on probably moving to a different country and you're thinking of I could get this salary, you also have to understand a bit the taxes in that country because it might be different from country to country. So when it comes with the progressive tax, the first item that I think I want to tackle is the morality of it. So in my opinion, the progressive tax is not really moral because it's not really fair to tax somebody who earns a bit more than you, a lot more, and then somebody who earns less than you, less. Because think of this example. So you have two brothers that have been given the same amount of care and love from their parents, the same amount of opportunities, and one becomes an engineer, let's say, and he earns £40,000 per year. So that means he's in the second tax bracket. So for the first £12,500, he's not gonna pay any tax. But then between 12,500 and 35,000, he pays 20%. But his brother puts in the work, spends let's say 9 years in medical school, puts in crazy hours, so he doesn't have time for his family, and he earns, let's say, £70,000 per year. And you will be also taxed 40% for the money that he's earning over £50,000, if you guys remember the tax brackets in the UK. And I find that really not fair. The second item when it comes to progressive tax that I don't really like, I think it promotes, limitations on people. So I think there are many people who ask themselves, I'm in this tax bracket, I'm earning this amount of money, and I don't think it's okay to work a lot harder or try to progress my career. So, because for example, if you're already earning probably £48,000, you're going to question yourself, is it worth taking that promotion, working longer hours, and then being taxed probably 40% on the actual promotion money or the raise? And I think that kind of inhibits people to kind of work harder, kind of, if they have a business, maybe don't want to go to the next level because they end up paying higher taxes, and then they think it's not worth their effort. Because it's always every financial decision that you make, it's going to be risk versus rewards type of logic. So if you're risking to lose 10 or 20% more of your family time, for example, for this amount of money, you have to balance it. I think if it's worth it. Then another item that it's kind of unfair. If you think about it, take another person. Let's say he's aeronautical engineer, right? He earns £50,000 per year, so you're just at the limit of 20%. And he wants to work harder and he wants to take overtime. What happens is, if he works overtime, he's going to reduce his hourly wage. So if you take into the calculation that he's earning a specific amount per hour that's taxed 20% already, everything that he's going to do overtime is going to be taxed 40%. So his hourly wage is actually reducing because the new money he's earning for overtime is actually at a 40% tax. So if you actually do a calculation, his actual worth or hourly rate reduces. And I think a lot of people think that this progressive tax bracket actually penalizes the people who are in the higher tax bracket. And that's I think every discussion I have with somebody is saying, well, it's really fair because the really, really rich people are going to get taxed on their money. So in the UK, everybody that earns over £150,000 is going to be in the 45% tax income bracket. And I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but these people are not paying 45% because don't know if you ever done your research on companies, on higher executives. These guys are not getting paid in cash the full amount. They might get 10 or 15% in cash, but most of their money is that the company gives a payment in shares. So they're not paying 45% on their salary. If you think about it and check for example, the UK government laws, they pay capital tax gain on their shares. If they receive 80% of the money of their salary in shares, and if let's say they sell their shares, the highest they could get taxed on those shares is 20%, not 45%. And that's if they are doing this way. Like the most efficient way you could actually do this is ask the company to give you as much as you can from your salary in shares, and then you go to a bank and then you request a loan because loans aren't taxed in this country. And you ask a bank a loan and you put up your shares as collateral, and the bank will give you the money probably with a 4 to 7, 8% interest. And again, that's even lower than somebody who earns probably £30,000 and he's paying 20% on his salary. So be careful when you think that the progressive tax is there to tax people who are people who are earning substantial amount of money, because it's not the case. Because they could easily go through the shareholders scheme and go for capital tax, or again they could get a bank loan and put their shares as a collateral. And that would be it for the progressive tax. Now moving on to the flat tax. And I think this one is a disadvantage to the people who have the lowest type of income, because I'll put on the screen now a calculation on 19% flat rate tax, because I think that's kind of the general rule with countries that go with flat tax. It's either 17, 18, 19%. It's around those numbers. And I'll put a person that earns money in every different tax band, and you will see that people that are under 12,500, and people who are under the 50K band are going to pay a bit more, and people in the higher band are going to pay a lot less. And then the other benefit is that you reduce bureaucracy, but you have to think about this. If a country goes with a flat tax rate, that means they're going to have lower deductions and lower number of loopholes. So if you think about it, you're going to get less taxed by the people that earn a lot of money, but at least you're going to get that 19%. So if you think about it, you're not going to let them have any option to not pay taxes because it's a flat rate against everything. And I think at the end of the day, the country will get a bit more money if they will go with this flat tax rate on everything. But again, this is only my opinion, and again, we're all biased based on what tax band we are in. Of course, any tax law would benefit some people and would put some other person as at a disadvantage. But I think this is pretty much the philosophical type of discussion I want to have with you guys today. Feel free to put in the comments down below if you think the flat tax or the progressive tax is the way to go. And hopefully, if there's some people planning to move to a different country, again, check out their income tax and figure out if you're actually getting what you think you deserve. Anyway, guys, till next time, hope you have a great day. Take care.